This is actually my second time opening this now. I've already replaced the bulb behind the first climate control knob with an OEM Toyota one that cost me about $10. And then shortly thereafter, the second one burned out, followed by the third one. So I'm going to test out some LEDs instead. I've already tried some T4 LEDs that I was told were going to fit in here, but they were actually too large. So I'm going to try these T3 ones instead. First thing we need to do is pop off this trim here. Simply grab it from down here and pull away, and then pull from here. And then this side, and then this side's a little bit tricky, but I loosened it earlier just so I wouldn't have to struggle. Pull it away from here, and then unclip the harness on the back here, and set aside. As you can see, this piece of trim here is going to block us from pulling the knobs out, so we're going to remove it. It's simply held in place with 5 clips, one here, and then 3 along the bottom. Just grab it right here and pull straight back to loosen it. And then just move it out of the way. You don't need to disconnect anything. You just want to kind of push it off to the side so that you can pull this away from the dash. Now we need to get this trim off because the knob trim is sitting behind it here, so you won't be able to pull it out. So we're going to start by lifting up the trim right here and then pushing it away from up here, and it'll pop right out. Next, we have to pop this trim out of the way here. We shouldn't have to remove the shift knob, but if you need to get this piece off for more clearance, I'll put a link to my Redline Goods shift boot installation where I show you how to actually fully remove this trim. But for now, we're just going to grab from the side here, lift it up, and then do the same thing on, actually work our way from here and lift it up until it pops out completely. And then you're going to have to reach underneath and disconnect these 2 harnesses. Now we can finally get this piece of trim out. Just grab it from the side here and pull it a little bit to loosen it, and then grab it from here and pull as well, and it should pop right out. There should be enough slack on the cord going to the back here that you don't have to unplug it. You can just move it aside. We can now remove the trim holding the knobs in place. Just grab it from the top and pull it away. There's 2 clips on the top. And then once you get that, just pull it away from the bottom. And there's also 2 clips right there in yellow. Go ahead and disconnect all 3 harnesses. Then turn all of the knobs all the way to the left like this. Then use a flathead screwdriver and press in this tab here, and then this will pop out, and do the same thing with this tab, and then that'll pop out. Here's a closer look at the 2 components that connect on the first and third knob. So you can see the 2 tabs on there that you need to depress. You can get away with just depressing the first one because the other one's going to be hard to get to, but just pry it up a little bit and it'll pop right out. So you can see here are the bulbs. So the first one is a brand new bulb, so I'm going to leave that in place for comparison and just replace the other 2 bulbs instead. So you can just use a narrow flathead screwdriver, stick it into the slot here, rotate it counterclockwise, and then pull it right out. Something to note is the first and second knobs have a bulb with a sleeve over top, but the third one has no sleeve, so it should be a straight white light. So I may end up having to actually get a white LED for the third knob because it's going to probably make the blue on the heater control knob look purple instead. But I'm going to go ahead and get them installed for now, and just to make sure that they work. The T4 bulbs fit with the base, but the head for the LED was too large to fit in the hole. And the T3, while the head will fit in the hole, the base is too small. So what I've done is I've straightened out the wires on the broken bulb here to remove it, and did the same thing with the T3 LED, and I'm going to transfer the LED into the original base. And here's the retrofit. Let's go test it out. Installing the new bulb is just as easy because it'll be held in place on the screwdriver tip. So just go ahead, pop it down in there, and then give it a turn clockwise, and then pull the screwdriver out. I'm only going to connect the harnesses here so I can test and make sure all the bulbs work. I'm not going to bother reconnecting the backs of the first and third knob. I'm using my coat to block out the daylight so I can check the brightness between the two bulbs. The second one has my retrofit LED bulb in it, and it's pretty bright compared to the original incandescent bulb on the first knob, so I'm very happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and actually swap in LEDs for the other knobs now. When I stuck the red LED behind this knob, the blue actually didn't even light up at all. It was very dark. So I just took the bulb from the first knob, the brand new Toyota bulb, removed the orange cover from it, and stuck it back here for now. I'll eventually replace this with just a white LED, but as you can see, they must have some sort of a red film behind the AC logo here so that it will light up red. So I recommend keeping a white light behind this so that you can see the blue on the knob. Here's what it looks like with red LEDs behind the first two knobs and then a white incandescent bulb behind the third one. Alright, it's time to reassemble. Now let's reinstall these behind the first and third knobs. The one that says 2176A H5L21 is going to go behind the third knob and is shorter. And the one that's longer says 2184M B5L16. And that'll go behind the first knob. Here's what they should look like when you reinstall them. There are some tabs on them to make sure that they're actually installed on the correct sides and in the correct direction. But when you put them back on, make sure that you have the knobs turned all the way to the left so that everything lines up, and then just do a quick test to make sure that you have the full range on them. And now do everything in reverse. Line up the bottom two tabs in here and then the top two tabs and just push it in place on all four corners. This piece has 4 tabs here on each corner and then 1 tab right here. So just line them all up and then push it into place until it clicks. Reconnect the 2 harnesses here. Then just line this up in place and press it down on all the corners. This little piece here on this trim goes into the little hole right there, just like that. Then line up all the tabs like this in place. Then push this into place here and snap that down. This one's pretty easy to get into place. Just line up the top tabs here and make sure it's all lined up on the bottom and just push it in until it clicks into place. Reconnect the harness on the back of this piece here, and then set it into place, and then just push it until it clips on all 4 corners. And you're done. So I hope this helps you out. If one of your climate control knob bulbs burns out, it is a pretty easy process to take this apart and then replace the bulb. Thanks for watching.